The air hung heavy with the scent of her perfume, a cloying sweetness that now reeked of betrayal. John knelt, hand trembling as he pulled the phone from beneath her neatly folded sweaters. It was sleek, black, utterly unfamiliar. Her phone, the one she used every day, lay charging on the nightstand. A second phone. Why? His stomach churned with a sickening certainty. He knew he shouldn't. But the phone practically vibrated in his hand, a siren call of forbidden knowledge. Unlocking it was almost too easy. And then he saw them. The messages. Hundreds of them. All from the same contact, saved under a single, heart-stopping initial, M. His name wasn't Michael. John knew that for sure. He scrolled through the messages, each one a tiny dagger to his gut. They were flirty, intimate, filled with inside jokes and longing. His wife, his Anna, spoke to this M with an ease and affection she hadn't shown him in months. The photos were worse, selfies in sun-drenched cafes, their faces turned towards each other, a shared laughter that excluded him. One picture made his blood run cold. A hand, unmistakably male, rested on Anna's bare knee as they sat at a candlelit table. He wanted to smash the phone to erase the images that were seared onto the backs of his eyelids. Instead, he found himself reading message after message, each one a confirmation of his worst fears. They spoke of stolen weekends, secret rendezvous, a love that burned bright and dangerous. John's hands shook so violently that the phone slipped, clattering onto the hardwood floor. He stared at it. A venomous viper coiled at his feet. His Anna, cheating. The word echoed in the silence of the bedroom, each repetition amplifying the pain that was blossoming in his chest. Rage, hot and consuming, pulsed through him. He wanted to confront her, to scream, to demand answers. But a different part of him, a wounded, pathetic part, clung to the hope that it wasn't true. That there was some explanation, some innocent reason for this second phone, these whispered conversations. He picked the phone up again. The screen glowed, a beacon in the gathering darkness. He had to know more. He scrolled to the call log, dozens of calls, all to and from M. His finger hovered over the contact, a single click away from putting a voice to the phantom that haunted his marriage. But then he saw it. A voicemail, the most recent one from Anna to him. John stared at the screen, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. A voicemail from Anna on this phone? He tapped the icon, the phone pressed against his ear, his breath catching in his throat as he heard her voice. It was faint, laced with a terror he'd never heard before. "John, please, I need you." Her voice broke, dissolving into a choked sob. "It's not safe." They took the message cut off abruptly, leaving John in a chilling silence. He replayed it again and again, each time the fear in her voice tightening its grip on his heart. It was the desperation in her tone, the raw panic that sliced through the fog of his own anger. This wasn't the voice of a cheating wife. This was the voice of a woman in danger. He listened to the message one final time, his gut twisting. The words "not safe," and they reverberated in his mind. Who were they? What had they taken? And where was Anna? His anger was replaced by a cold dread that settled in the pit of his stomach. This wasn't an affair. This was something far worse. The messages, the photos suddenly seemed trivial, meaningless in the face of the raw fear in Anna's voice. Had he been a fool, blinded by jealousy, misinterpreting everything? He thought back to the past few weeks. Anna's unusual quietness, the way she seemed to jump at shadows, her phone calls always taken in hushed tones away from him. He'd thought it was guilt, a sign of her infidelity. Now he realized it was fear. She'd been trying to tell him, to warn him. John's mind raced, trying to piece together the puzzle. Who was M? Was this some twisted extortion plot, a dangerous client from Anna's law firm? He had to find her. He had to get to her before it was too late. As he scrambled to his feet, a new message flashed on the screen. It was from M. "Looking for your wife," it read. "Come and get her." The address followed, a warehouse district on the outskirts of town. John didn't hesitate. He grabbed his keys, his heart pounding against his ribs like a war drum. He had to get to Anna. He had to save her. As he raced towards his car, a single thought echoed in his mind. "Please let me be wrong." The warehouse loomed before him, a dark monolith against the steel-grey sky. Rain lashed down, blurring the world into an impressionist painting of fear and urgency. John's hand trembled as he pushed open the heavy metal door. It was dark inside, the only light filtering through grimy skylights. The air was thick with the smell of damp concrete and something metallic. Fear tightened its grip on his throat. "Anna!" he called out, his voice hoarse. The silence stretched, broken only by the rain. Suddenly a figure emerged from the shadows. It was M, a smirk playing on his lips, a gun in his hand. And then John saw her, Anna, bound and gagged, her eyes wide with terror. She struggled against her restraints. "Let her go," John growled. "This has nothing to do with you." M just laughed, a chilling sound. "Oh, but it does," he said. "She knows too much." He raised the gun, pointing it at Anna's head. John lunged, his heart pounding. A shot rang out, deafening, final.